15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Down.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Right, 97. Going to be railed.
Play action, now it's Tua. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Isaac Yemen picks it, and the Texans are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against an interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Mills finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Play fake, Mills. A quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Well, Charles, it's early, but that's a key third down conversion. Remember, they forced the turnover on the opening drive. Now they're in a position where they look like they'll at least get 3 out of this.
A great example of complementary football if they're able to cash this in, isn't it, partner? Because defense does this job, takes it away, turns over the offense. So let's pick up a nice first down there. Maybe it's time to think about taking a shot at the end zone because it looks like the field goal is almost assured.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Throwing, Mills. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 41. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. On 2nd and 10. Tua. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
To the 27-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 27, Tua. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Here we go, here we go. And cycle. Set.
Here's a give to Edmonds running to the right. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the gun, it's Tua. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. Second and goal.
38.
Again, they run with Edmonds. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on third and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw.
Then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins use the early turnover to get on the board first here this one. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips able to record his 5th sack of the season. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because
third and long, they'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Black shot.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, if they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. On second down, this is Edmonds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11.
Shot, 17. Watch out now, 50 Fury. Ready.
They'll run with Edmonds again. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Chase Edmonds, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
They'll run up now. A loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. You got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Oh, this is intercepted. Intended for Hill. Tua picked by his former college teammate Christian Harris. And the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. After the turnover, it's Tua. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus the defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But
under pressure, and they got to him again. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
Here we go, set. 12, 10.
They run with Mostert off the option. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 29, Tua. He'll get this to his tight end, Gfssl. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And the Dolphins are going to have a first and goal. It's some good running there. Gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knocking on the door. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll try to run with Edmonds. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second down and another run with Edmonds. And this time he is in. Chase Edmonds, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Off the play fake, Mills. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And they are into field goal range now as he's got the first down at the 26. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
45 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do.
Touchdown! Jalen Waddle as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Brandon Jones picking it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their 25-yard line. On play action, Mills. And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. A first down throw for Mills. And his throw here's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That good for 19 and a first down. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. From the shotgun, it's Mills. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Mills. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 15-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's Mills. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with a short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
Now Mills on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 20. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. 140 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So tack on 3 more, though this is just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Evans running behind center, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Mills now. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, That's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Here's Jackson. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key 1st down.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
– 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. To throw, Mills. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Mills to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. With it is Jackson. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. This offense so far on third down, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll go option to the short side. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. On the return, Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. On 1st and 10, Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
3rd and long for Mills. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Ready?
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Looking to throw is Mills. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
Let's go.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Here we go, set.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide.